In this video, we're going to learn how to validate that there was an entry by using an attribute in the HTML. This is really simple because all you have to do is add an attribute. There's no JavaScript required. And it works in cases where you really just want to make sure that they enter something and that you're not testing what it is. And each browser will handle a little bit different, and you don't get to put any special message, your own unique message. You're just going to get whatever message the browser does. But we can do that here for the name, this text box with the name. We want them to be able to check one of these, so that's okay. And so we're going to validate this text box, one of these. We can't do individual checkboxes. If we set these required, then they would have to check every one, and that's not what we want. We want them to be able to select one or the other. They can select 1, 2, or 3. Radio buttons work because when we set them required, they're all in one group. So it will verify that just one is. And then this text area. Everything else we really need to validate what it's made up of, what it looks like. They've not only entered something, but it's something correct. So let's go ahead and do the ones that we can do with this straightforward just in the HTML. So the way we do that, we'll go to the first where they enter the name in the actual input element. So this is where input type equals text. We're going to add required. Okay, and notice this editor comes up to give it a value, but in HTML5 we no longer need a value. It's simply a Boolean attribute. If it's there, then it's set. If it's not, then it isn't. So we just put required right there. We want to do it in the radio buttons. So in the radio buttons, again, we need to do it in the input element, and we're going to do it in every one of them. Now, because they're a group, it's only going to require that one is checked. So the browsers are smart enough that even though I put required in each one, it will only require one be checked in the group. Not with the checkboxes, because if I put required, then it must be checked, and we don't want to say that they all have to be checked. And now the text area is right here. It has opening and closing tags. Remember that we put the attributes in the opening tag, so I'm going to put the required right there. So I save that. So I'm really just putting this required attribute in the HTML. And I refresh the page, and here's what happens. If I click submit, it comes up and says, oh, you've got to put something here. Now notice it went to the top one. It hasn't told me about the other one, so it's really making me do them one at a time. So I can put my name here, Sam Frost, and then submit. And it comes back up and says, oh, you need to select one of these options. So I want to go in as a software, I want to go as a software engineer. So now I click submit, and it goes back at the top, and you must fill in this field. I am awesome. All right, so that's what it's doing, and this particular browser is making me do it. It's only telling me one at a time, so I don't get multiple messages, and then it will submit it once I've got those. Now this is the easiest one to do, but I tend to save it till the very last, because if I don't, then those are all required while I'm trying to do all the rest. So I kind of wait and do this at the very end, so I don't have to, I'm not forced to enter them as I'm testing my other things.